So that is it. So we are all done with setting up our trust. Let me see what's in the chat. Thank you, Deonce, you're amazing. Thank you. So I'm open for questions. I see Donna has a question. Hey, Donna.
Hi, I think you answered. I was wondering, does the trust receive, like, okay, I'm turning 65. Does the trust pay property taxes?
It depends on which trust. So if you're using the ministry trust, if the ministry trust owns your property, the ministry trust does not pay property taxes. They're exempt, but you have to apply for that exemption. So you do have to go down to your county assessor's office, and then you have to put in the application for property tax exemption. And it is going to get approved because it's under a 508c1a designated trust. So if you put it under this type of trust, which is a family trust, it's not going to be tax exempt.
Okay, so it doesn't fall under the 65-year-old birthday, they drop the school taxes and stuff like that off of it then?
No, that's for an individual. That's not for an entity.
Okay, so.
Yeah.
So the ministry trust is the only trust that's non-taxable.
Right. That is it's the best trust for you to use if you want to be tax exempt. Yes.
Okay.
Hi, Christina. It's Ruth. I had a question. We wanted to do, like, for our land trust, for our farm, we wanted to put where the heirs and the beneficiaries are not able to sell the land. They can lease it or live on it. Where would we be able to put that within our trust?
Okay, let me show you. That's a good question. Hold on 1 second. All right. So we're going to put it under, so they cannot sell. Let's see, where is that going to go? Okay, the beneficiaries, they don't have any power to sell. So are you saying that you want to make that restriction to the trustees?
Correct.
Okay, yeah. So then it would be under, let's see. Resignation and removal, acceptance. So you can put it here under, trustee powers, or you can put it under general trust administration. It would be better to put it under general trust administration. So you would just go and put section 10. And then you would put the board of trustees. Oh, everything's in caps, huh? The board of trustees, or trustees or co-trustees are restricted from selling, I don't know, farmland that belongs, to the trust, or something like that. Farmland or any type of real estate. I'm not sure how you want to word it. Is it any type of real estate, or is it just that one specific farm?
This one particular farm, we want it to continue to stay within the generations, and we don't want it where anyone's able to sell it. It has to move through the generations.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so you can put that they're restricted from selling farmland. You can even put like where it's located. You can be very specific here. Let's just say, located in, where is it located?
Kentucky.
Okay. Kentucky, that belongs to the trust. And then you can put this land can be used for lease, rent, and what else? Lease, rent. Yeah, we can
Christina, which section are you typing this in?
and rent. Oh, can you see my screen?
I
It's
can, but
So it's Article
Article-
3, yeah,
gotcha.
General Trust Administration. So you're just letting the trustees. So this is where you'll put like the do's and don'ts. So like for here, Section 2, under no circumstance shall the grantor have any interest in any investments. So you can start it off that way. Under no circumstance can the trustees sell the farmland that is located in Kentucky, right? So you can verbalize it that way. And if you want, you can send me an email so that I can help you with the verbiage too, okay? But
Thank you.
you're so welcome. All right, who else? Derek and Shirley, you guys are next.
Thank you. And I just want to let you know, I'm enjoying the entire session. It's beautifully done. So I just wanted to let you know that.
Thank you so much, Shirley. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I have a question though, and I just thought about this when we were going through this trust, and I was looking at Article 9.
Yeah.
And my question is, in the event that the trustee, let's say, has surgery and is in a coma, and there is financial things that need to take place, will the successor trustee come right in and start okay, so okay, so should that be in writing somewhere, or how would?
Yeah, so it should be there, but in the event of death, resignation, or if the trustee is incapacitated, then the successor has to take over. So you have to appoint a successor, and you will do it in the board meeting. So in the board meeting is where you're going to appoint the successor. So we're going to do the board meeting on Thursday. So if you know who your successor is, we're going to do the board meeting for all three of your trusts. Okay. So if you know who your successor is, then we'll go ahead and document and appoint that person at that time, or we'll put that name there at that time. And then there's also a separate form here that it's not attached. Let me see. It's not attached to this trust, but it's just a list of your, I'll show it to you. I'll pull it up. It's a list of your, hold on. I think I showed it to you guys yesterday. 1 second. It's the list of all the other individuals inside of the trust, okay? So here it is. Where is it? I don't see it. Okay. Hold on, let me look for it. See. Okay, I found it. So this is not a part of the trust, but you definitely want to fill it out. I'm gonna share my screen, hold on. Here it is. So it's supposed to be on all of them. I don't know why it's not on the probably. So it's the an administrative contact information. So here you'll put the successor trustee, you'll list any co-trustees, you'll list the trust protector, and then you can also list any other board members. And so you're just going to put their name, address, and phone number here. Okay. So I can email this out to you guys since it wasn't included in the template, and then you can just add it to your trust. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Perfect.
You're so welcome. Keisha.
Hi, Christina. Hi, everyone.
Hi, sunshine.
No, that's what my mother-in-law calls me.
Yes, she loves you.
She does. I got a couple of questions.
Yes, ma'am.
So Article 17 to renew the trust.
Yes.
That kind of went over my head a little bit. So can we go back
Yes.
and kind of see exactly what does that mean again?
Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me pull it up. Hold on, let me share my screen here. Okay, number 17, 19, 17. Okay, so under number 17, so your trust has an expiration date. Okay, so the trust is born and it also dies. Okay, so it's established and it also expires. Okay, so it is up to the trustee's discretion, right? So if the decision is made to renew the trust, it needs to be done at least 60 days, 60 to 120 days before the original termination date. So so we decided on 100 years. So our termination date is July 4th, 21-23. So, 60 days prior to that is going to be what, May 4th. So we have to at least make the decision before May 4th if we're going to renew it. And if we do renew it, then we can renew it for an additional term. And so that additional term is typically going to be whatever our original term is. So if it's 100 years, then we're going to renew it for an additional 100 years. If you do not renew it, it expires. And that means that all of the assets and the money, everything needs to be dispersed.
Okay, so, after that 100 years have passed.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Yeah. That's the part I was getting. It kind of went over my head a little bit. Okay, got a better understanding with that. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
The second question I had is about the violation of privacy.
Yes.
So I know you had mentioned that everyone in the board needs to sign an oath of violation, making sure of, privacy.
Yes.
Is that something that we already, as trustees or whoever the trustee is going to have, are they going to be, where is that to be found so that those individuals will be able to sign that, signing that oath saying that, hey, we will not violate this. We know this is privacy, or whoever else that we give a copy of this trust to?
Yes. So I have a template for the oath of privacy. So I will send it to you guys in an email. And so you want everyone that is attached to it, you personally, because you're the one who's actually who you're the one who's executing the trust, you and the grantor, you don't have to sign it, but everyone else outside of that, it has to sign it. So every single co-trustee, every single successor, every single beneficiary, and all of the, agents, employees, contractors, anybody that you're doing business with.
Okay. And can you give, you don't have to, but could you give like maybe an example or a personal, if you have one, or if you have a client who had one, where someone outside of the trust violate or try to violate the oath of, the privacy, like requesting to see the entire trust, wouldn't just take the certificate, they're like, no, we got to see it. Has there been cases or instance where, you go to a bank or a car dealership or trying to purchase some property and you're doing it through the trust and they're like, no, we need to see the whole entire thing?
Yeah, I've had, quite a few, but I'll give you one example. One of my clients, he went to a bank. It was Wells Fargo, and they would not open up an account, and he really wanted to go to Wells Fargo. I told him, I said, look, tell them that they're violating, and then go to another bank, right? Go to, TD Bank or Truist Bank or any other bank. And so he made the decision that he wanted to not do that. And so he actually provided them with his trust. So that was one issue, but then he circled back around and contacted the legal department to let them know that although he decided to provide his trust in the branch, it wasn't something that he wanted to do. He felt like, he felt forced to do it. And so I told him, I said that he had the, the authority to decline, but because he's, new to being a trustee, he felt like he was, like his back was against the wall. So that's one example. And so I would never advise anybody to do that. You always want to hold your ground, and you do not want to disclose your trust at any, for any reason. I also had a client where they were acquiring real estate. They was closing on a house, and they had got a mortgage for the trust, but the mortgage company would not, and this was at the closing table. So, there's a lot of pressure when you're at the closing table. So at the closing table, the mortgage company wouldn't, release the funds until they got a copy of the trust. That was the only thing that they was missing. And so with this particular mortgage company and with this particular client, because they were at the closing table, they ended up disclosing their trust, and they sent it to the mortgage company so that they could get the mortgage, and they end up getting the mortgage. But it would have taken, it would have caused like delays, and you had to go back and forth and stuff like that. And so that's why they chose to do what they did. Me personally, I would have left the closing table and would have went through, the legal route of saying, no, I'm not going to disclose it, because it's like, it's like you are pretty much, handing over all of your personal identification. So I would have, delayed the closing a week, and would have went through the channels that I needed to go to in order to let them know that they were violating and to go around it. But most companies, they don't ask you. So for example, like insurance companies, they don't ask you. Majority of the banks, they don't really ask you. What else? Some dealerships, it depends on where you go. Like the smaller dealerships, they don't ask you. So it really depends. I hope that answered your question.
It did. It really did. Thank you for that. And this will be my last question. When you have the board meetings, either you're going to do it annually or, have semi-annually or quarterly, and you said everyone needs to be there for the family trust. What if you have minor children who are the beneficiaries? Are they still required to be part of the board meetings because they may not understand? And then you're trying to also give a copy of these trusts, for them to sign a privacy, oath as well, but they're minors. So how does that go into play?
Yeah, so when it comes to the minor, it is really up to, so everything's up to your discretion as the trustee. So if you don't want to give a copy to a beneficiary, you don't have to. Okay,
Okay.
so usually you want to give it to beneficiaries who are adults so that they can actually read the trust and understand the trust. And you're grooming them to be trustees. So it's really for the adults, not the minors. But it's, you know, when it comes to dealing with anything with minors, you have to go to their guardian, and then it's also up to your discretion. So if you are, you know, saying no, then you don't even have to go to the guardian. And then as far as the board meetings go, you want to invite everyone, but not everyone is going to attend. But you know, you want to let the standard be known that they have to, like that, you know, it's a must. You don't want to miss, you know, the annual family meeting where we're talking about the trust estate, we're talking about our philanthropic endeavors, we're talking about the financial status of the family, like all of these things. And so that's why you want to invite everyone, but not everyone is going to attend. Some people, you know, have to attend virtually too. So you also have that option is where it doesn't have to be in person. It can very well be in person, but it doesn't have to. You can just have a have it virtually on Zoom as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're so welcome, Keisha. Thank you for those good questions. And Jen.
Hi, Christina.
Hey,
Great
Jen, how
job
are
you
you?
done today.
Thank you
Good.
so much.
My first question is regarding the charitable contributions. I think we were on page 14, section 3, where it talks about the amount.
Yeah.
Do we, and when we need to add the ministry's trust name, do we need to donate or have that contribution be a certain dollar amount?
No,
Or you can.
It doesn't have to be a certain dollar amount. You can decide if you want to put that standard in there, and you would just have a board meeting about that and document it in your meeting minutes. And then where you see on section 3, it says at your discretion, right? So everything is up to the trustee's discretion. This is a discretionary trust, which is very important, right? Because even if you reach that threshold of 100,000 or 200,000, it doesn't mean that you have to do a donation. It means that you're eligible now to do a donation because you met the threshold. And so it's up to your discretion if you want to donate 50,000 or 20,000 or 10,000. Okay. And so if you are going to intend on doing that, then you do want to document it in your meeting minutes, because we are representatives of the trust, right? We're the fiduciaries. And so the best practice is for whatever we are intending on doing, we document it in our meeting minutes and we add it to the trust. We always want a paper trail.
Absolutely. And is it to our benefit to make a contribution? Like we should, right?
Yeah. So at the end of the day, the ministry trust is yours, right? So you are going to also be operating that trust, and you're going to be designated where those funds go to. And so the benefit of you adding to the ministry trust or donating is for tax purposes, right? Because the ministry trust is tax exempt. And so if you are in a position to where you have, $30,000 and you have to pay taxes on $30,000 and you're taxed at 38%, then you're going to have to pay, a pretty penny. So instead of you paying that 10, 15, 12, whatever thousand that it is, you can donate that 12,000 to the trust, to the ministry. And so that 12,000 goes to the ministry, and then now your tax liability is zero on the family side.
Okay, so you can donate to the trust.
And you W-2?
I am.
Okay, so it's extremely important that you donate to your ministry trust so that you don't have to pay that much in taxes. So let's just say you, Jen, let's just say that you make $100,000 a year on your W-2 income. So per the IRS, you can donate up to 60% of your gross income. All right. That is to your benefit. So out of that $100,000, you're going to take 60% or the 60,000, just max it out, girl. And you're going to donate it to your ministry trust. So now instead of you being taxed on that $100,000, you're only going to be taxed on 40 because you donated the 60 to yourself, to your ministry. Okay. So now you're only going to be taxed on 40, which means that you are really down there. And not having to be required to pay that much in taxes.
Wow. Okay. So when would that begin?
So
I guess anytime.
Yeah. So if you're establishing your trust this year, so it's going to begin this year. So you're going to be paying and filing taxes, January or February of 2024.
24.
Mm-hmm.
Great. That's when that would, okay.
That's
So the trigger would be like, what do I need to do? Do I need to somehow note in the trust that I'm donating?
Oh yeah, you have to do, you have to do a donation receipt. So
Okay.
yeah, so you have your login information, right? Because if you go into the portal and then if you go to resources, you're going to see one of the links. It says donation receipt. So you're going to download that, fill it out, and that's your proof that you donated the 60%. And then you can also do, you can also do a transfer, so you can have a paper trail that way. You got a paper trail, you got a transfer trail, all this stuff.
Okay, so we should get the donation receipt from the portal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Christina, how does that work if you're an entrepreneur and you're self-employed?
So if you're are you doing like 1099s, or like how is it that you're getting paid?
Well, we own businesses.
Okay, so if you are running a corporation, okay, so if you're doing if it's a corporation, then you can do up to 25%. If you're an individual, or if you are 1099, you can do up to 60%. But because you are an entrepreneur, what you want to do is you want to flow that money. Instead of flowing it to yourself, you flow it to the business trust. And then from the business trust, you're able to expend whatever you need to expend and then donate to the ministry from the trust. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Reiko?
Okay, I was still typing my notes.
All right, Reiko, how are you? I'm so glad
good.
You're here.
How are you? Yeah, I missed the email, and then I read my text message too late for yesterday's class.
Yeah, so sorry.
It's okay. You said you were sending out the replays?
I am, yeah. I'm gonna send them out. Yeah, they just they're with the videographer. He's putting them because it got split in two, so he's like putting them together.
Okay, yeah.
So that is one video.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
My question is, okay, so does the trustee have the authority to amend any part of the trust at any time?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's at your full discretion. So the trustee is the only individual within the trust that can actually amend the trust. Beneficiaries can't do it, grantor can't do it.
Okay, so this is kind of like a two-part question. So I guess you kind of answered it, because when the trustee has the ability to renew the trust for an additional 100 years or more, can they change the body of the trust, like just different things that may have changed over the years?
Yes.
Okay.
That is, hold on one second. That is called a reinstatement. So you're renewing the trust, but you're also reinstating it. So let's just say that you had, 60 pages of meeting minutes from all the amendments from all of the years. What you can do is all those changes, you can put it into the trust, and now you're going to reinstate the trust.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a really good question.
Yeah, because I was backing off of I believe her name was Priscilla, when she was asking about under no circumstances did she want like the family land sold.
Yeah.
But I was just wondering during that time if the trustee, just say it had been 50 or 60 or 75 years or something, and they did want to end up selling that family estate to then go and purchase a better family estate. I was just wondering how that would work. But the trustee would be able to do that in the best interest of the trust and the beneficiaries.
Yeah, so typically when it goes against the trust like that, you would have to get like a court order, or you would have to get like some type of approval from the beneficiaries, but typically it would have to be like a court order if you were going to do something that extreme.
Because could you already word it in the trust?
Oh yeah, you could word it in the trust.
Okay.
Yeah, you could word it in the trust. So as long as you put that word, discretion in there, then it is good to go, and they're able to use their discretion. So that's why in a lot of the paragraphs and provisions you see discretion, because it's a discretionary trust. You have some trusts that are not discretionary trusts. So that means that if it doesn't say it, you can't do it.
Okay, yeah, it's totally locked in. Okay, that's good to know. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Rico. Hey, Jen.
Hey, so I had a second question, but we were sidebarred, which is fine. The other question had to do with those that would be paid. I know you and I had a conversation about secretaries. That's up to my discretion, right? If I want a secretary or an attorney. And I'm just wondering, would it be to my detriment if I didn't have an attorney for anything, or I can just choose not to have an attorney if I don't need to?
Oh, yeah. So for some of the positions within the council, you can do it like, as needed, right? So for example, if you wanted an accountant, you can have one, or you can do your own accounting, right? If you want an attorney, you can have one, or you can defend yourself in court. So that is up to you as well. It's not required.
Okay. And if I feel as though I don't need any of those additional people now, I could always update or amend the trust to say, now I would like to have an attorney.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Later.
Yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Any other questions? Patricia asks if the webinar is being recorded. Yes, it's being recorded, and Aya is going to email it tonight. So we're going to send this off to you guys, and then we're still waiting on yesterday's recording. So as soon as we receive yesterday's recording, then we'll get that over to you guys as well. It's also going to be uploaded on the Facebook group. So if you guys are in the Facebook group, great, because this content will be there as well. And then that's a good place for you to ask any questions. Let's see here. All right, Patricia said, awesome, thanks. Keisha?
Okay, one more question.
Yes,
so will you, I know you're not an accountant or a tax advisor or anything like that, but it seems like a lot of people in the group either are self-employed or have businesses or W-2s, and this is all kind of new. So just like how you had an expert in the insurance, will you have someone who's maybe kind of in the expert field to maybe give some advice in as far as taxes and accounting? So when we start operating in the trust, we kind of know the direction on how much needs to be allocated to the ministry trust, how much to the business trust, because a lot of this is new and unfamiliar, and we want to make sure that we're operating it in the best way that we can that's going to be beneficial down the line.
Yes, so that's a really good question. So I'm actually working on it at the moment. I am partnered with 2 CPAs, and they do specialize in trust tax services. So I am working on getting them on a call with us. I don't know if it's going to be this week because I didn't get a response as of yet. So as soon as I get a response, then I will let you know. But if I'm not able to, then if I'm not able to do it this week, then I'm gonna have a separate call where we'll just go over like accounting and taxes. So that's most likely going to be this month in July. So I am actively working on it, Keisha. That's a good question.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you. How do we reach the gentleman that's presented on insurance? Patricia said, how do we reach the gentleman that presented on the insurance? So his name is Mondo Grimes. He is our partner when it deals with the IULs, and he will be with us on Friday. So if you are able to attend on Friday, he'll be here Friday at 8 p.m. So we're going to start at 7. He's going to join us at 8, and he's going to go through the infinite banking so that we can get a good grasp on that. And outside of that, if you are not able to, then I'll be able to give you his contact information. Okay. Ruth said, do we need a general trust manager, or can the trustee handle the duties? Yeah, so you do not need a general trust manager. That's if you have, like if you have a large, like what is the word I want to use? Like if you have, big business and you need the help to where you have managers in place, that's one. Or two, if you want to, let's just say you're out of the country and you need to delegate tasks to anyone, then you can hire a general trust manager, or you can delegate it to anyone else. But when it comes to your duties, the trustee is pretty much responsible for anything and everything. So if you have an accountant, then the accountant is responsible for the accounting. But if you don't have an accountant, then the trustee does it. So when it comes to the general trust manager, they're the ones doing the day-to-day operations. If you don't have a GM, then the trustee is the one that's handling the day-to-day operations. So you do not need a general trust manager. You can do the day-to-day operations yourself, and you can choose whichever officers, positions, or agents that you want to put into the trust. Let's see here. Apologize for charges. Can you send over? Yes, also Facebook access yet. All right. I'm gonna put the link to the Facebook group in here, and Aya is going to. Okay, perfect, Tracy. Aya is going to be approving. So anybody who's able to jump into the Facebook group, she's going to go ahead and put in those approvals so that you can have access to the Facebook group right away. Hey, Flanzy, how are you?
Fine, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Awesome. Mondo did an excellent job on the insurance end of it. For investing in real estate, are you going to have a Zoom meeting on that so that we can have some understanding how to maybe generate income from the real estate perspective?
So I'm going to be touching on it briefly on Friday, but what I can do is I can have a separate class on it because I did get a couple of requests since last week. So I do intend on doing that. And what I'm gonna do is if you have access to the Facebook group, what I'll do is I'll go live in the Facebook group and I'll be able to really touch on the different investments. So one being real estate, another being stocks, another being the foreign exchange market. So there's different types of investments that I recommend that you get into or establish with your trust. And then Mondo is the one who's going to be doing the investment piece about the IULs. So I intend on going live on the Facebook group to be able to do these classes that we're talking about. But I am going to touch on it briefly on Friday. We'll be talking about asset protection, and we'll be talking about like different investments and stuff.
That's awesome. I was wondering what the 7 ways of wealth were.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I know. Exactly. Yeah. So it's trust, it's the foreign exchange market, the stock market, it's cryptocurrency, it's affiliate marketing, and it's real estate. And what was the last one?
IUL?
Insurance, yes. Yes.
Awesome. That's so exciting.
Yes. Thank you, Flanzy. Thank you. Yeah. So we're going to be touching on all those things. So, yeah, so we do have, an interesting week ahead of us.
Christine, I had a question. It's Ruth.
Yeah. Hey,
So
Ruth.
we all have the UILs already. If we all place our UILs into the family trust, what does that do as far as the worth of the trust?
The worth of the trust? So, it's an asset, right? So it's going to add to the net worth of the trust. That's one thing. But that is not the reason why we do it. So the reason why we do it is because one, it's for taxation purposes. Okay. So when you have your insurance policy as an individual, when you pass away, they're going to charge you. So they're going to tax your death benefit in inheritance tax and in estate tax and the death tax. So they tax your death benefit, which is not what you want, right? And so when you have that asset in the trust, then they don't tax it. And so it's not subject to the estate tax, inheritance tax, or death tax. So, and then another thing is that with that large lump sum of your death benefit, you don't want it to go to any type of individual, right? Because we are trustees and we have beneficiaries. And so the best practice is that those funds go straight to the trust. So that's why we put the policies inside of the trust, because we want that death benefit to go to the trust, not to the beneficiaries directly. Does that make sense, Ruth?
Yes, thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Christina, can a trustee be a successor? Can one of the trustees?
Can one of the trustees be a successor? So a successor has to be someone who's not a trustee.
Okay, so they cannot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you need at least one successor. So if you have 2 trustees, you need at least one successor to take over.
And the grantor
Cannot.
Yes, okay. Thank you.
So Patricia says, does Mondo do trading, or is it something that each individual will learn or do ourselves? So the type of trading that I teach is passive, okay? With that, you are going to create a PAM account. That stands for it stands for percentage allocation money management. And so a PAM account is an account that's being traded by a professional trader, and it's just one account. Okay. And with that account, you will attach your brokerage account to the PAM, and your account will mirror that account. So if that trader got into a trade right now, then your account would also get into a trade of the identical trade. Okay, so that's how it works. And so what we've been doing with our brokerage or with our PAM account is our trader, he's very conservative. So he does about 1% a week, which is very conservative, because I've been in positions where I've made 100% in a week. So, so that 1% is actually a very beautiful number, because if we are doing 365 days, or if we're doing 52 weeks, then that's 52% in a year, which is good. That's higher than the stock market. So, we can do a class just on the foreign exchange. I do have information on my YouTube about it if you guys are interested or ready to go in that direction. But what I want you guys to do is I want you to set up your trust, because I want you to open up your brokerage account under the trust. And then all of the capital gains that you are getting from the trading, it's going to go to your trust. And then you're going to let it sit there, and it won't trigger a taxable event. Okay, so you won't have to pay taxes on those capital gains as long as it goes to your trust. Okay, so it's a strategy that we've been using for some time now, and you can also use it for stocks and crypto, not just only Forex. Okay.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yes.
That is awesome. And so the trust would have to be finalized and completed.
Yeah. So
before.
Yeah, so we're not ready. We're not ready as of yet, but we will be. We will be talking about different assets. We'll be talking about wealth creation and things like that. So, Ruth said you were dropping gems. Yes, Ruth, thank you so much. So, if you guys have any suggestions of any. Keisha said this is the first time that she heard about a PAM account. Yeah, if you Google it, you will find it on Google, and it's PAMM. So if you Google, if you Google PAMM, you might have to put Forex there, or maybe not. It just depends. Then you'll find it. Trust me. So, with that being said, if you guys have any suggestions of any other classes, we can definitely get it done. So I intend on doing the accounting and tax one for you guys, and the investing class for you guys. So I hope that you guys are in the Facebook group, because I'll be going live in the Facebook group to do these classes. Okay.
Great. Christina, before you go, let's see. I know we're with you for 5 days on the Zooms, right?
Yep.
Does our membership end?
No.
5 days? Oh.
No, you have lifetime access.
Oh, great.
Are you trying to divorce again? Like,
no, absolutely not.
Just got hitched.
Absolutely not. But I said I better question it and just make sure.
Yeah, no, you have lifetime access. So I'm always adding.
Oh, that's awesome.
to the program. And so whatever I add into the program, it's just going to be updated on the portal. So just constantly be looking at the portal. Right now there's 42 videos, but I plan on adding more. So eventually, like by the end of the month, you'll probably see 50 videos on there of just, more information. Especially I'm adding more information to like the wealth creation section. And the asset protection section. So those are where I'm primarily focused on. Okay. So for example, like we're talking about the foreign exchange market, I have videos, but they're not in the program. So I'm intending on putting those videos there into the program. So it's the program is never ending. Okay. So if something comes up, like I was actually telling a few people that I plan on adding a foreign trust into the program. Okay, so I'm in the process of acquiring real estate in Ghana. And so I am going through the foreign trust process myself. And so once I go through it, then I'm going to share it with my students in the program and give them access to that trust, just in case you guys want to do any foreign investing, or if you already are a foreign investor and now you want to be protected and use that international trust or that foreign trust. So it's just going to get better and better.
Right. So it's always evolving. That's
great.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yes. Thank you for that question, Jen. So yeah, we not going nowhere, okay?
Absolutely.
Flanzy, you have a question?
Yeah, for some reason, I'm only getting 2 ebooks in my portfolio
There should be 3 on there. So you should see the third one. You should see 2 attachments plus a Google Drive link, because that book is so big. It's like 700 pages. So you might have to scroll up or see it. I'm not sure if you're looking on a phone or a computer, but somewhere on the screen, you're going to see a Google Drive link with the 3rd ebook.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you see it?
I can't look right now.
Okay, no problem. Okay, I get it. Okay, well, but let me know.
I'm on Zoom. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you should see it there. So you should see the 2 attachments on the side, and then underneath, like there should be a space where you would see a video, but there's no video there. So underneath that space, you're gonna see a hyperlink.
Okay. Yeah, because I get the one with what would the Rockefellers do. And there's another large one. I got that. The Art of
Passing the Buck, Volume 1.
Passing the Buck, Volume 1. Yeah.
And then you should have Volume 2 there as well. And Volume 2 is like 600 pages or 700 pages. So that's why it's on the Google Drive.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm going to be adding more ebooks too. There's 2 more ebooks that I want to add on there. One is Family Wealth, and the other one is Asset Protection. So I'll be adding those 2 on there fairly shortly. Let's see, we have 2 more questions. So Ruth said, where do we access the ebooks? So Ruth, do you have access to the online portal? If you do, you're going to scroll down all the way to the bottom where it says resources, and then underneath resources, it's going to say ebooks. So you click on ebooks, and then you're going to see 2 attachments, which are 2 ebooks, plus you're going to see a hyperlink to a Google Drive, which you'll find a 3rd ebook there. She said, found them. And then let's see.
Were we emailed the link to the portal, or did you just give us the address?
No, yeah, you were, that's your login information. So you should have received it when you enrolled. Did you receive it?
Oh, I have to go back. Okay.
I'm gonna have to look into that for you, Jen. But I think, yeah,
I'm looking here.
Look in your spam, because sometimes it goes to spam. You can also look in, sometimes you're gonna either receive it either via email or text message. And then let's see here, Nancy. Let's see, we have another question. Will you ever do face-to-face meetings in person? Yeah, I actually have a few, they're not meetings, but I'm going to be talking at conferences. So that's face-to-face. I'm going to be talking in Atlanta. I want to say it's October 12th through the 15th. So all of my Georgia folks,
I'll book my flight for October. I'm actually leaving for Atlanta tomorrow.
You are? Oh my God.
I am. I'm leaving on the red eye, so I'll miss the class.
Oh, okay. We're gonna miss you, Flanzy. So that's beautiful. Safe travels, my dear.
Thank you.
Yeah, so if you are in Atlanta around that time, come join me. We're gonna have a really good conference. It's called the FamCon, I think that's what it's called. So it's about family businesses, it's about asset protection, different investments, things like that. So I'm one of the speakers, and I have a few more other things that I'm working on right now, one being in Detroit for next month. So we will see, but it just depends on where you are. If you're here in Florida, then yeah, let's meet in person. I've met a few of my students. I've met a few of you guys. I know Derek and Shirley, they're in Florida. Who else is in Florida? All right, I have another question. I'm checking the request for the Facebook group. See you all there. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Aya. Another question is, if doing all of these investments with the trust, if it's going to affect your income, right? So what if you have W-2 income, if you're on, even social services like, Social Security, if you're retired, things like that, pension, all that stuff, you have to understand that that income is separate from the trust. So the trust is its own entity. It has its own income, and that income will never be taxed to you as an individual. Your income, wherever it's from W-2, from Social Security, wherever it's from, that is separate income. Okay. Which will never be taxed to the trust. Okay, so it's going to be taxed to you personally. So this is a strategy where, for example, where you as an individual, you show that you have no income, and obviously the trust has all this income, so you can actually qualify for social services, right? So you can qualify for Section 8, food stamps, Medicare, Medicaid, all these things, because you have zero income. All the income that's coming in is going to the trust. That is not your income. Okay, so that is a separate entity from you. So you have to, it takes a mindset shift. It takes a lifestyle shift for you to understand that. Okay, so I hope that answered your question. Let me see if I have any other questions. And then you're welcome. Ruth said, come to Texas. Yeah, I'm planning on going to Houston, so I might be there in the next 2 weeks, Ruth. Where are you at? Are you in Houston? Because I have a lot of students in Houston and Dallas.
I'm in Houston.
You in Houston? Who's in Houston?
This is Reiko.
Oh, Reiko. Reiko's in Houston. Okay. Reiko, I'm going to keep you updated because, and Ruth is in Dallas. Okay. So I have a few people in Dallas, more people in Houston. I have more people in Houston. So yeah, I'm almost certain that I'm gonna be there in probably another 2 weeks, but I'll let you know. I'm a last minute flight kind of person because I was a traveling nurse for 7 years. So I always like book a flight the day before. So so Houston is definitely on the radar. So I will definitely let you guys know, so we can do like a meet and greet in person. That would be so awesome. But I've met a few of you guys, but nobody that's on the call here. I haven't met anyone on the call here, but I've met a few students that are either local or they come into town. So anyway, so if I don't have any other questions, I don't see any other questions in the chat. It is 2 minutes to 9. So we are on time, guys. I'm super excited. So tomorrow we are going to be going through our ministry trust. So we're going to go through the contents of the trust, and then we're going to be simultaneously setting up our trust. Okay. So tomorrow you're going to receive an email from Aya, and she's going to have the attachment with the trust and the checklist and everything that you're going to need. You're going to get that reminder text message, and I will see you guys on Zoom tomorrow. So it is going to be a different link. So just look out for the emails. They might be in your inbox, they might be in your spam, and then also look out for that reminder text. So you guys have a beautiful evening, and come prepared tomorrow so that we can set up that ministry. And we're probably also going to apply for an EIN as well. So we have a few things that we're going to be setting up tomorrow. And I'm looking forward to what tomorrow brings. So you guys have an amazing evening. Derek and Shirley said the best financial education ever. Have a great evening. Thank you so much. Love you guys a lot, and I will see you guys tomorrow. So be blessed and good night.